they had a recording of Meek and Diddy
making love.
Ew.
I don't know if it was love.
Okay, you have it? Let's hear it. What? Yo, wait a minute. Wait,
You didn't hear this?
No!
Now, Miran, what does that sound authentic?
Soulja Boy just threw one of the most outrageous shots yet in the ongoing storm surrounding Diddy. But this time, the jab wasn't aimed at Puff. Instead, Soulja set his sights directly on Meek Mill, and he did it loudly, publicly, and without hesitation.
I'm at a point in my life like we all grew up in the streets.
A couple parties I seen and I knew that they were spiking drinks. My girl was at the New Year's party, right? I'm at the front door. I gotta make sure everybody got their passes and everything like that. So then my girl and her girlfriend is in the party. So they get bottles of champagne. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for them. After everybody comes, they close the door. So I'm going knocking in doors, looking at people. I'm looking for my kid's mother now. What the fuck, what's going on? And I'm getting hysterical. So I decided to go to the car, and I looked in the car, she was in the car asleep. She said, Gene, we started drinking the champagne, and I didn't feel good. And me and Debbie came here and went to sleep.
No cryptic post, no sneak dissing, just a straight-up accusation that shocked social media. According to Soulja, Meek let Diddy violate him in a way that had timelines spinning, and he didn't stop there. He accused Meek of crashing out again, claiming this moment was just another sign of Meek losing control. The online fallout was immediate, with fans, blogs, and entire forums scrambling to make sense of what just happened. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time Soulja Boy has aimed heat at Meek Mill. Their tension dates back months, and it started over something that originally had nothing to do with Meek at all. It all kicked off when producer Cardo took to social media to vent.
How did you feel when you saw this lawsuit that made it seem as if perhaps Diddy and Meek Mill had sex?
I mean, to each their own, and why would they not have sex when they're gay rappers?
They.
Do you think Meek Mill's gay?
We all know he's gay.
Who's we?
Rick Ross knows he's gay.
I didn't know. It's news to me.
Everybody, Rick Ross knows.
He was furious over what he said was disrespectful behavior by Soulja Boy toward Metro Boomin's late mother. Cardo didn't hold back. He tweeted, "Don't grow up trying to be Soulja Boy. Boy, an idiot." That alone would have stirred some drama. But then, from out of nowhere, Meek Mill jumped in, completely unprovoked, and chose to back Cardo's stance. That's when things spiraled. Meek tweeted, "If you say you're gonna smoke somebody and they see you and actually smoke you, it's self-defense." He called out Soulja for allegedly chasing clout and warned about the dangers of playing reckless for likes. But Soulja Boy, he's never been the one to sit back quietly.
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street forever.
That tweet wasn't received as a warning, it was fuel, and Soulja responded with a brutal comeback that hit way below the belt. On X, he clapped back with a now viral post. "Didn't Diddy violate you?" The timeline erupted instantly. Within hours of Soulja Boy's tweet, the internet went into overdrive. Old clips resurfaced, audio leaked, archived posts, and messy tweets from years back were dug up and reposted. It was like a digital avalanche, and people who had forgotten suddenly remembered everything.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
The timing couldn't have been worse for Meek Mill. With Diddy's ongoing legal situation heating up and disturbing rumors now getting courtroom attention, Meek's name being dragged into it added gasoline to a fire already blazing. And while the pressure mounted, Meek's biggest rivals like Soulja Boy were having a field day clowning him across every platform. But let's be clear, this isn't just wild internet gossip. A lawsuit filed by Lil Rod Jr. against Diddy cracked open a layer of truth that had long been whispered about. In those legal documents, there's mention of Diddy having intimate relations with 2 unnamed male celebrities. No names were dropped officially, but one description stood out. One of the unnamed individuals was described as a rapper from Philadelphia, who also had a highly publicized past relationship with Nicki Minaj. That detail alone narrowed the list down fast, and speculation kicked into high gear. Instead of shutting things down or clarifying anything, Meek Mill jumped on social media and did what he's known for. He started tweeting heavily. But rather than calming the noise, his post stirred even more chaos. He tweeted about needing to hire an investigative team, claiming someone was trying to tie him into the Diddy mess. But that only raised more eyebrows.
Only a man knows what a man needs.
Because, let's be honest, if it wasn't true, why speak this loudly? Why tweet in all caps? Why throw out legal threats instead of simply denying the rumors? Then came the real shakeup. One of Diddy's former bodyguards stepped into the chaos, claiming he had actual audio recordings from what he described as one of Diddy's infamous private gatherings, nicknamed the Freak-Off Nights. According to him, those parties were so wild, drinks were allegedly being tampered with, leaving guests completely unaware of what was even happening. The tension? It's building fast, and the deeper this goes, the harder it'll be to ignore. According to one of Diddy's former bodyguards, what happened during those infamous private nights goes beyond rumor, and he claims to have recorded evidence to prove it. He described capturing audio so wild, it sent shockwaves when he talked about it publicly.
3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
He didn't hold back. He claimed the recording included the sounds of slapping, moaning, and someone clearly yelling, "Yeah, daddy." His description painted a scene of chaos, high energy, and absolutely no confusion about who was involved. Here's where it takes a turn. The bodyguard didn't hint, suggest, or imply. He said flat out, it was Diddy and Meek Mill. The internet lost it. And then, in an even wilder twist, actor Orlando Brown added fuel to the fire. He publicly backed the bodyguard's claim, saying the voice in the recording definitely sounded like Meek's. Whether you believe Brown or not, his input only pushed the story further into the spotlight. The bodyguard claimed that from what he heard, Diddy was fully in control of the situation. And Meek? According to him, there was no resistance. That kind of detail is what had people digging deeper. And suddenly, past moments started to resurface. One clip in particular, Diddy's birthday party for Meek, the one with shirtless men poolside, mood lighting, and a calm, intimate vibe. It didn't make headlines at the time, but in hindsight, it's hitting different now. In that old footage, Diddy is seen telling Meek he deserved it and that he was proud of everything he had accomplished. Back then, people joked, laughed it off, and moved on. But now, with these new allegations and that supposed audio in the mix, that same clip is being looked at with fresh eyes. With Diddy's ongoing legal battle heating up, things in the courtroom just took a major turn. Prosecutors reportedly brought forward tapes and photos that were described as explicit, featuring Diddy engaging with several high-profile male celebrities. The details? Shocking enough to stop the entire room cold. Insiders present say that when the audio was played, the courtroom went silent. No whispers, no reactions, just stillness. According to one source, what played was loud, graphic, and left absolutely nothing to the imagination. It was clear. It was intense, and yes, Meek Mill's name reportedly came up again. This isn't the first time Meek's name has been loosely connected to this ongoing scandal, and anyone who follows Meek knows he doesn't stay quiet when his name hits the headlines. He usually responds quick and loud. True to form, Meek fired off multiple tweets once the chatter hit the timeline. One tweet stood out. Just to put that on public record, the craziest thing I seen at a puff party is coke vibes, and that's going on at all these parties. I'm from North Philly. I had millions since I was 23. I don't even want to be addicted to weed. Not judging, but I see it different. It was a clear attempt to distance himself from the allegations. Meek's message was focused on drawing a line, saying he witnessed nothing more than drug use at these high-profile gatherings. But even with that statement, people started revisiting a lyric that aged terribly. The line, "I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy," once shrugged off as just another bar in a track, now feels different, more like a confession than a clever punchline. With the courtroom evidence stacking up and the internet watching every move, this story keeps growing. Now with all eyes locked on the courtroom and timelines catching fire, the fallout is spreading fast. Industry insiders, podcast hosts, and even retired execs are weighing in. The conversation isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's becoming a full-on reckoning across the entertainment world. And for many, Meek Mill is finding himself stuck in a spotlight he didn't ask for. Social media is dissecting every old clip, every lyric, every party photo. Fans are analyzing timelines, pulling up videos from years ago, and pointing out any small connection they can find. And whether it's fair or not, Meek's name keeps popping up in the center of it all. Meanwhile, artists who once stood close to Diddy have gone radio silent. No statements, no denials, no support. The silence is loud, and that's making things even messier. Because when high-powered figures fall under scrutiny, it's often the people around them who get hit by the ripple effect first. And that's exactly where Meek is right now. In the middle of that ripple, where silence gets read as guilt and responses only add more fuel to the fire. The line between rumor and reality is starting to blur, and the court isn't finished yet. More evidence is expected, more witnesses may speak, and more names could be pulled into the mess. Whether Meek likes it or not, this is no longer something he can tweet his way out of. As the pressure builds, the music industry's silence is starting to look strategic. Big names who once championed Diddy's legacy are ducking the spotlight. Fewer collaborations, no appearances, and zero public statements. And now a bigger question is rising. Who's really next? Because with each new revelation, it feels like this case is only scratching the surface. For Meek, the consequences are already in motion. Blogs are treating him like a main character. Forums are creating detailed timelines, and every bar he's ever dropped is now under a microscope. What used to sound like rap bravado is being reread like coded messages. Old freestyles, old tweets, they're all being used to build a case in the court of public opinion. And behind the scenes, labels are watching closely. No one wants to be the next headline. PR teams are on overdrive, lawyers are double-checking past NDAs, and publicists are prepping statements just in case the spotlight shifts. This moment feels like a turning point. Less about music, more about accountability. Meek isn't officially on trial, but in the eyes of the culture, he's being judged daily. His reputation isn't just at risk, it's being redefined in real time. If more names surface and if more tapes emerge, there's no telling how deep this situation could go. What started as one lawsuit is beginning to expose cracks across an entire circle of power in the industry. Now that the floodgates are open, the industry is bracing for impact. More insiders are stepping forward, quietly, anonymously, feeding outlets with whispers of what went down behind velvet ropes and backstage doors. The vibe has shifted. This isn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. It's starting to feel like a full-scale unraveling of long-protected circles. Rumors of additional footage are already circulating. Word is prosecutors may be holding even more visual evidence, recordings from private residences, luxury suites, and after parties that most people will never even hear about unless it hits court. And if those files get released or referenced publicly, expect the internet to explode all over again. As this unfolds, everyone is choosing sides. Some fans are in denial, defending legacies. Others are digging, exposing, demanding accountability. It's created a split, not just in the culture, but in the business behind it. You can see it in how artists are moving. Some are keeping their distance, others are wiping past affiliations clean, deleting posts, and removing features. Meek Mill's position becomes more complicated by the day. The longer he's linked to these stories, directly or not, the harder it becomes to separate his name from the headlines. And whether or not he was involved in anything, the internet doesn't need proof, it just needs momentum. And right now, the narrative is moving faster than anyone can control. This story is no longer about who said what, it's about who gets caught in the fallout. Just when it looked like the buzz was starting to fade, Soulja Boy threw gasoline on the fire and reignited the entire situation. And make no mistake, he knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't a random outburst. It was a calculated move to remind everyone of the rumors that never truly disappeared. With one bold post, the internet lit up again. And now, the streets are back in full detective mode, piecing everything together and adding new twists along the way. Forums, timelines, and group chats are filled with wild theories, each one more outlandish than the last, but they're catching traction fast. One user stirred it up even more, claiming that Nicki Minaj was the one who recorded the alleged audio, saying she had held onto it, waiting for the perfect moment to drop it. According to that theory, she paid someone to take the fall so she could stay under the radar, all because of how badly Meek treated her back in the day. Another comment, Meek Mill really fruity, this is crazy. Some laughed, some were shocked, but nearly everyone agreed. Whatever's happening, it's unraveling in real time and it's getting harder and harder to ignore. So what's your take on this latest flip in the storyline? Is Soulja Boy stirring chaos for clout, or is he forcing the truth back into the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're here for the raw truth and unpredictable drama, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't miss what's coming next. It's already heating up on your screen.